So, as I am drawing the map, which I don't think you can see, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm just gonna. I don't want anybody to see the map anyway. Oh no, you can see the map. I just moved it so you can see it. There you go. All right, so I cut some of this because it's gonna be a mess. All right, so basically, I want to. This is an intro to the story of the campaign. Um, Pretty much just what our heroes or our characters, heroes, anti-heroes, whatever you want to call, have done as of yet. It's gonna be super brief, as brief as I can make it. This is just for me and for those of us playing and anybody that's watching um, on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Doing this very very last minute. Uh, so all right, so I'll stop making the map for a second. So we got our story started with our dude. This I don't want you guys seeing the map. There you go. I don't want people seeing the map. All right. This no. Don't look. Oh, I guess they've seen the map already. But so our story starts with our heroes. They all meet. They all met at an inn tavern, as usual. We have our group consisted of, or yeah, well, consisted because we've been through some changes for people coming and going and stuff like that. So we have the half elf, who is Adira. Yep, Adira. I'm gonna remember this. We have a, oh, I don't remember what she's called, but it's Liz's character is Talise, and she's a, oh my goodness, now I'm gonna forget what she called her character. It's like a mermaid kinda. Hang on, I gotta find the email now. This is hilarious. Oh boy. Uh, Let me see if I can find it. Um, I don't have it. Uh, who's this? This is Rika. Okay, so nope, I'm not there yet. Hold on, guys. Hang on. Nope, nope. Okay, weird thing. Nope, this is my backstory. I don't have Liz's backstory. Okay, so now I don't know who she is. What her character type is. Hold on one second. Race. Here you go. Here we go. I don't think this is them. It says merfolk, but I don't think it's merfolk. I don't remember the name. Anyways, long story short, so we got, so Adira is a half elf ranger. Um, we got a cleric. I believe she's a cleric. And she's a like a merfolk. I can't remember the. Liz is gonna kill me. Sorry, Liz. I can't remember. But her name's Talise, and then we have our changeling Rika, who is a rogue. She is now a trickster rogue, which makes it more interesting. So she's mage handing everything. uh, oh man. And then we have Aman, who is a human sorcerer. I'm gonna say sorcerer. But he also is influenced by a entity or fiend that's inside of him, which is part of his storyline, which I'm trying to incorporate right now. Which we all know this, so I'm not giving anything away. I've also been trying to incorporate other things from their backstories into the game. And this chair is really short. Feels like. All right, there you go. Okay, so they started out in the tavern. Oh, and we also had a halfling bard, Rosie, that was Lisa. She no longer is playing the game because children. Um, that's my wife. If you're new to watching this, anyways. And then we also had Becky's character, which I don't remember her name. She only joined us for like 2 sessions. I want to say it was like Ayani or something similar to that. That's usually her name when we play video games. So, anyways, so they all started out. They were all given a mission, more or less, without going into too much detail, to find this guy named Trenton and either capture or kill him. They all met um, at a I guess it's a tavern or bar. Rosie was gonna sing that night. Made it a little bit interesting. I thought it was cool. um, Tavern ended up getting attacked, more or less, while they were upstairs, locking one of their own in a room. Oy vey. I don't even understand. 90% of what happened that night. I still I listen to it sometimes. And I'm like, I don't know how this happened. So they ended up trying to lock up Adira because she said she was related to um, Trenton. So they were going to use her as bait and pretend to throw her off a cliff. Anyway, long story short, um, they ended up catching a shadowy figure um, that ran out the back door of the thing. It turned out that the whole thing had been they were in like a magical. I don't. I'm not going to think of the word, but anyway, they ended up catching a shadowy figure, and the shadowy figure led them to the next night, which was they went to what was the Red Hammer Inn, and that they had to essentially sneak into the enemy's inn and try not to get caught. Uh, Basically, I just what they did was they went in and they asked for a room for the night. Rika again caused a bunch of mayhem by stealing a bunch of keys and the the I guess the what's his name concierge or whatever he called the front desk guy. He ended up going and looking for him, and he was stressing out because he's going to lose his job, stuff like that. They ended up finding Trenton at this Red Hammer Inn, so they were at a different inn and called the Clucking Chicken Inn, and then they moved to the Red Hammer Inn. They ended up finding Trenton getting into a fight with a bunch of people, capturing Trenton somehow. I think Rosie actually put them to sleep, if I'm remembering correctly. So Rosie put them to sleep. She was still there, and then they ended up tying up Trenton and getting out. Um, and then that led us to the next night where they were in the forest to start. They ended up they tied up Trenton to a tree, and that's where Becky's character came in. I'm gonna say Ayani because I can't remember the name. Um, they more or less talked about what they were going to do. Trenton got shot with a poisonous arrow. They ended up having to go and save. They ended up having to go to the Silent Hand, which is different from the Red Hammer. They're like the good guys, and then the Red Hammer's the bad guys, quote unquote. They don't really know who's good or bad. They haven't really gotten that far yet, so they ended up going and joining the Silent Hand to save Trenton. I believe this was the second of this because it's very I can't remember how many nights we did. Anyways, so they ended up going and having to do some trials to get into the Silent Hand. The the Silent Hand had a very strange trial where they had to figure out how to get through a door, and they had conversations with some of them had conversations with doors. Very interesting. How those conversations went. Um, After that, they saved Trenton. They ended up. Oh, while they were there. Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. And right after that, when they were trying to find the I guess, anti-venom or the antidote for the arrow. They ended up being, for one of the nights, they were ported. They were messing with these stones that can either teleport you to the plains or they can do stuff that is related to the plains. This is very centered, and if it's not right, I apologize. I know people are gonna get mad at me for not being like accurate with all this stuff. It's just supposed to be a fun game for all of us to play, and it's to me it's a good time. So where they got teleported to a demiplane that was run or created by a djinn, a very powerful djinn, and they did some stuff. Some of them in that plane lost their arms, eyes, points, and then they ended up leaving a guy there in exchange for some people that had been stranded there for a long time. It's not even a joke, guys. I'm not even joking. Anyway, so continuing on. After that, they went and they saved Trenton, gave him the antidote. Ended up in this town that put them in this like time loop where they had to go. Um, you know, they started the day over again if they died. They ended up finally. I'm sorry, I got a text message. They ended up finally getting through it all. And they didn't kill the bad guy. He made it away. He got away. But they did save the town, and they made some good friends along the way. Um, the main friend that they made a couple friends. Um, so far, the only two main people that they've really made friends with is Trenton and Cortana, who's Trenton's daughter. And in this town one that was like 4 or 5 sessions long, they made friends with Rex, who was the sheriff of the town. They made friends with the count, who was like this vampire guy who ran the town. Anyway, that's very complicated. I'm gonna have to post those all because that whole 4 session long thing is very. It was good stuff. I think it was pretty good. I mean, like I enjoyed it. I think everybody did. But anyways, so they made a lot of good friends there. They got friends with Rex and uh, Rex's daughter and the Count's wife. I'm gonna say the wife. And then there's also these two twin sisters that they ended up making friends with as well. Uh, After that, they had some weird stuff with the planes going on, and like immediately after, they ended up being teleported to, um, oh man, Elysium, which is where they are currently. Their first session, they were on a ship. They found a guy that they met a woman whose wife they originally met in the very first one. Her name was Ariel. His name is Nudemir. They were both dwarves. But anyways, she ended up dying in the beginning. Anyway, long trying to keep this short. So they went in that this first session in Elysium. They ended up my recording ended up not working, so that's a shame. I'm really gonna have to go through and try to remember everything that happened. But uh, there was sailing, there was fighting on ships, there was uh, shooting each other with arrows accidentally. Adira definitely shot Amon in the back when he he missy stepped across the other boat, and then she shot him in the back with an arrow. So I mean, like, it was a lot of fun. There were shark boys, and that was the at the end of that was the one that I didn't well, I did record, but the recording, the voices didn't record on my end. And so what happened at the end of that, they ended up getting attacked by a kraken, but not necessarily. Turned out he didn't actually attack him. He wanted their help. In the next one, they ended up getting to the next level, Elysium, the second level. By the way, the first level is all ocean. Second level is like a giant plane. I have the names; they're just escaping me at the moment. They ended up going to the second level after talking to the Kraken for a while and his buddies. One guy was Australian or Cogni. I couldn't decide which one, so he was kind of a mixture. uh, so he's either British or Australian. I don't know. Anyway, so they get to the second level. The Kraken gets mad because he thinks they're trying to play him. Um, he ends up pushing their ships. So there was two ships. It was Nudamir's ship and their ship. He ends up pushing their ships toward a portal. This portal ends up they all jump ship because of a fiend. There was also a part where a fiend or a demon, if you will, was being attacked by some angels, or I guess they're celestials. I'm still kind of unsure about how all that works, but anyways, um, we're just gonna go with angel, demon, or celestial fiend. There was a fiend, the Balor, being attacked by some angels because there's all kinds of portal stuff going on. The planes are all mixed up, and people are appearing in portals or in planes that they're not supposed to be, which is why there was fiends and demons there, like the Balor. Anyways, so Amon's fiend that's inside of him ended up helping one of them, and then the angels were after him. It was very intense for a while. Anyway, so they ended up letting the Kraken go through a portal. We have no idea where the Kraken is at this point. Well, I do, but they don't. So they jump ship and they started walking on the plains and they started messing with the smaller portals along the way. The angels ended up coming looking for Amon because he had helped the demons who were attacking, and uh, they found him indirectly. They didn't necessarily know what he looked like. They just knew he was a human. Um, and they were also messing with the portals, so they have very strict laws there. That's the way I have it. I apologize if that's not how it really is, but anyway, so they have very strict laws. So the angels were having them. They've taken them, and now they are in a trial by fire or trial by combat, whatever you want to call it. So they had three parts of it. One part was a maze, which they figured out. Wasn't super hard. Second one, actually, it was kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I had to. I don't know how to do mazes in D&D. All right, that's all I gotta say. Second part was a teamwork challenge where they had to figure out how to open a door before the room filled up with water. And now the third challenge is a Coliseum fight, which I have ready. I'm just drawing the map, and yeah, that's where we're at right now. They actually at the end of the session last time they saved the other team because the other team didn't actually make it through. I don't roll very well for my NPCs, but so that's the gist of what's been going on right now. Their goal. I know that I didn't get like. There's no real goal right now. The original goal was to capture Trenton. They ended up befriending Trenton, more or less. I feel like a lot of them, besides Joelle, or I'm sorry, Adira, she has been the only one that's really been kind of still questioning if she should do her, finish her quest there and kill him, because she was one of the ones that had to kill him. However, the new goal is to figure out from Trenton. Their new goal from Trenton and Cortana was to figure out why the planes are going all screwy and what's going on with that, and to try to save. Originally, it was try to save the world from the Red Hammer, or not the Red Hammer. I'm sorry, the world from the Silent Hand, and the Red Hammer was the also a bad guys, but they're kind of good guys now. It's kind of convoluted, but more or less, they're trying to figure out what's going on with the planes and how to stop it, and if somebody's messing with it, that's what they're trying to do. Yeah, and that's it. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna post this on YouTube, and I'll send the link to everybody. I don't know why I'm saying this part because most of the people probably won't read this. How long is this? 20 minutes? That's not so bad. All right. Well, I'm gonna be streaming this tomorrow night. There you go. Streaming this tomorrow night on Twitch. Dread or not, It's the same name as the YouTube channel. So, hope if you're like a random person, I'll see you there. If you're just my friend, I'll see you there anyway. All right, peace.